Yeah. Hello, we are Group 8. So today we are going to present about our online banking applications. And we are having three members, Long, Phoebe, and Sun. Okay, so let's start it. First, I have already run the backend using the Spring framework, and I have already run the front end using the Vue. So when you go to the link localhost A0A1, you will go to the landing page. So here is the landing page of our applications. You can see in the landing page the description about the bank. So if the customer want to see the information about the banking to see if they really fit with their preference, they can go to the landing page. And in order for you to begin using the applications, you need to use the login at first. And for the login to be convenient, when we start the backend service, we have already created some customer by default. So here we can use this to do the login. And for the login, we handle using the authentication controller here. So for the authentication controller, there will be two arrows. The first one, when the user does not exist, they input an account number, but it's not easy, so arrow will be shown. The second one is if they put a wrong password, the arrow can be also be shown. So let me try to show it for you to see. At first, let's try to put a wrong user account, and then the arrow could be shown here. The customer does not exist. And the second one is when you input the right account number but wrong password, and then the password mismatch will be shown. Okay, so that is the errors. And now I will try to log in using the right credential. So log in. Okay, so here you already go to the home page. And one important thing here is when you already log in, the next time when you go to the landing page, you can be redirected to the home page automatically. That is because here in the view, I have already handled this by using the push service here. So if the user already logged in, they will be pushed into the home page. So you can see here the router is pushed to the home page. And when user already logged in, they will be also redirected to the home page. And now coming back to the home page, what you can see here is some on the left side for the navigation menu are some main features of our application. Here you can see an account overview. The second one is do the sum transfer between the accounts. You can see the transaction history. You can also create some new account or see the exchange rate. In order to handle all of the behaviors in our application, three different entities have been used. The first one is the customer. So here is the list of all entities that we have just defined. So for the customer, the second one is the account, and the last one is the transaction. And all of them for the IDs, we have used an auto-generate ID. And the initial value is 10,001. So all of the value of the ID will be generated automatically. And one thing important here is in order to ensure the security of the users, I have used the set password here. So let's visit this one. Okay, so it is implemented in the security utils. And let's go to the encode here. So to ensure the security of the sensitive information of users, I have used the big crypt password encoder. Before storing into the database, the password will be encoded using this library. And here you can see, I just go to the database, and here is the table of the users. You can see that the password is already be encrypted before it is stored in the database. So in the future, if more field need to be encrypted, so you can also do this for another fields. Okay, so that is about the entity. Now coming back to the front end. For the web page, you can see there will be three different components that is used commonly by different features. The first one is the header. The second one is the footer. And lastly is the navigation menu. So when I switch between different features here, the header, the footer, and the navigation menus keep same between all of the pages. That's the reason why in the component here, I have defined three different components. The first one for the page footer, page header, and the page navigation menus. So when I want to use them in different features in our application, for example, here, let's go to the home page. So at first, I can just simply import the page header here, the page navigation menus, and also here is the page footer. And the content will be stay in between. So by doing this, next time, if I want to update the header, the footer, or the navigation menus, I only need to update here only one time. I don't need to do it for every single page. That is the convenience of using this. And also for showing the customer name here, so I have used the V8 here in order to ensure that when user load the page, there will be no undefined text ISO for sure that the username will be displayed immediately. So that is about the view. And beside that, to show the dialog, we use also the alert dialog and confirm dialog. So this one will be, I will show you right after that. Okay, so now coming back to the home page, and let's go to the account to see the overview of your accounts. So when you log in, you will go to the home page. Here you can see the balance, the account number of all your accounts, and it already be ordered by an ascending order of the account ID to make it convenient for the users. Now let's try to go to the manage. When you click manage here, you can set some settings for your account. The first one is the daily limit. It means that how much money you can do for the transfer in a day and on a daily basis. And to ensure that this one can be updated in every day. So now coming back to the back end, you can see for the account service, I have used a schedule here. The schedule here is using the scheduling by Spring, and every day at 12 a.m. the daily limit will be reset to the initial values. So for example, here for today, if you already transfer some money, and in 12 a.m. and the next day, it will be reset to the original values. So here is how I define the daily limit reset. So here it means that it will be reset at 12 a.m. every day. And the second one is the mean balance threshold. It means that when your account is falling below threshold, an email will be sent to you immediately to notify that now the balance is under the threshold, and you can take some action into this. So now let me try to update one of the fields. If I put here 1000, for example, and I save the settings, so here a notification dialog will be shown, and you can see here is how I implement for the notification dialog. So coming back to the dialog here, and let's go to the home page. So for the home page, you can see here is where I implement for the notification dialog, and it is having action like a model. So instead of using the alert button by default given by the browser, I make it more fancy for user by using define a model here. So when user do the settings successfully, a notification will be shown. And now let's try to come back to the account and see manage again. So the value already be updated.
Hi everyone, I'm Song, and now I'm going to show you the next part of our presentation is the transferring money, or one of the features in the user story of the web application. So what is the code for this part? The API for the endpoint is account ID and transfer. And to do the transfer money on our application, we use the transfer request. After that, we do some condition for the transferring money. For example, first of all, if the user tries to transfer in the same account, it will show the error cannot transfer in the same account. Or if the amount of the balance is less than the amount of the user tried to transfer, it will show the alert insufficiency balance to transfer. Or when the user tries to transfer the amount higher than the daily limit, the web application will show the alert transferring amount is higher than remaining daily limit. In order for you to understand more of our web application, I will do some demo on the web. Okay. First of all, we're gonna try to do the internal transfer. When you look into the page, we will have three sections: the from account to account and the amount to transfer. When you link to the form account, the web application will show all of the accounts available for the user. For example, I choose the saving account over here. It will show the balance of the account 2,000. The daily transfer, the limit is 1,000. And if the account user only have 2 accounts, if you choose one over here already, when you choose the 2 account, it show only the other one, which means that the user cannot choose the same account. So here I choose the checking one. Okay. You can see here if the user doesn't fill all of the space over here, the transfer button is disabled until all of the information over here is qualified. For example, if I try to put the letter here, it doesn't allow me to do that, or I try to put the negative number minus 1,000, the button also disabled as well. So I will do the transfer 200 from the saving account to the checking account. The alert dialog will show over here transfer successfully, and the transaction is performed immediately. The balance of the account from 2,000 to reduce to 1,800, and the daily limit from 1,000 will reduce to 800 immediately. And then I will do the demo for the external transfer. I will choose the checking account over here. For 2 accounts, if I try to do the send money to an available account, the alert will show this account is not available. Or I try to send the money to the same person. This will show the alert that you use the internal transfer instead of the external one between the account of the same user. And now I will put the right account. The information will show the account number and the name of the user over here. Next time, add the internal transfer until I fill out all of the available the qualified information, the transfer will be available. Okay, so for example, over here, I try to transfer the higher than the daily limit, 2,000. The alert will show over here. The amount is higher than remaining daily limit. Or if I try to do transfer with the amount higher than my balance, insufficient balance to transfer over here. So, okay, here you go. I will do like 1,000. Okay, alert dialog, transfer successfully. One of the interest point here, because of the account threshold is 1,500, if I try to send the money higher than that, I will receive the email, the notification by the email to show that our account is lower. The specified threshold is 1,500 over here. In order to do so, we use the. Okay, I will show you the code over here. Yeah, the email configuration. We send the email when the balance is below the threshold. We do the team leave over here for the email. Okay, back to the demo of the application. This one, I transfer the money from the account Sunwin, the user of Sunwin, and I open another one for you. So I already sent money to this account. So I will check the transaction history of this account for you to see. Okay. See, this one received 1,000 from the account 10,003 from the other user. So the transaction is performed immediately. And when I check the transaction history of this user account, you can see the ID is short accidental for convenience of the user. And I check the checking account. When you send the money out to other account, you will see the red color of the amount with the negative sign before the amount. And when you receive the amount from order transfer, the color of the amount will be the green one. And you see 200 here, received from the account of salving of the same user. Okay. In order to do the template for the application, we also use Vue.js. I can show you quick look of this Vue. So this one is the code for internal transfer. And here is the external transfer one. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the part of the transferring money for the user story.
Hello, this is Phoebe speaking. Next, I will explain about the next function of this bank website, which is account registration. As a user, you can create a new bank account. And here is the UI of that function. You can choose the details of the account that you want, like account type, initial deposit, daily limit, or minimum balance threshold. So for example, here I choose new checking account and input the number. One notice here is if you input the invalid number, for example, the initial deposit, we put a minus number, and other number we put like valid number. Then because this number is invalid, then the user cannot proceed creating account, and there's a disable note here, disable icon here. But here, if we input the valid number, let's say like 100, then here you can create a new account, and an alert will show up here. New account has been created successfully. And after that, some details of that new account will show up here. So user also can check whether the account's already created or not by clicking here in the account management here. So here you can see the checking account, new checking account has been created. For the coding for this part, is as a customable controller at the API post mapping here. So for by this coding, so it receives the customer ID and account details in the request, and it check whether the IDs exist on the customer exists or not. If it exists, then it will create a new account with the provided details and set the current date as the opening date, and also associates it with the customer and save the account and return successful. But if not, then it will show as not found. Next, at this account registration, we also have another function of close the account or delete the accounts. Here, if you click here, close the account, and there's a confirmation dialog here and confirm. And here we also set up if the balance is less than 0, then the account cannot be closed here. So in order to close this account, we can make this balance become 0. I can do the internal transfer to transfer the amount of money in this account to another account. So here, for example, I put the amount of it and transfer. Okay, transfer successfully. And then you can see that account, the balance now is 0. And now we can close that account, confirm. And account has been closed successfully. For the coding for that closing account, here is the coding for that. It is the API for that function. So in here, we set it up it handles the delete request to delete an account that associate with a specific customer. And again, it also checks if the customer exists or not. If it doesn't exist, then it's a return like not found. But if it exists, then check it exists. So, and also if it check the account balance 0 is more than 0 or not, then the closing account will be proceeded. Next, I would like to explain about the exchange rate function in this website. So here in the website, it will allow user to view exchange rate for various currency and performing the conversion from USD to other currencies directly on the website at real time. And this is very convenient for user. So for example, when I put it here 100 USD, and it will like directly or automatically convert to other currency, as you can see here. And the time will be real time at the moment. Let's go to the coding part of this one. So here, this part of code at the properties, application properties. So this part of code is the configuration section that it specifies the URL and the API key required to access an external exchange rate API. And go to the exchange rate controller. So this controller is to handle the request related to exchange rates. So it fetches the exchange rate from an external API using the exchange rate service. And then after the client send a GET request, it will retrieve the exchange rates and then return the response. And that's it.